or bro to ban against you since they really don't know where it's going to go. I also like the HLE are banning away the Nautilus as something that can be a threat to that Yunara. I honestly feel like a Alistar ban wouldn't be bad as well. We've seen Corki Alistar a lot as a bottom lane. Me and Widdit weren't huge fans because obviously you pick the Corki to win lane and the Alistar kind of neutralizes that, but I feel like you get the Alistar out of lane and he's an absolute menace. Corki helps bridge that a decent amount, and also the Alistar does have the reliable CC onto the Yunara, so...
Yeah, could be pretty important as Nico going to be taken away once again. Does mean that now the Alistar situation not necessarily as important as far as banning it away is concerned. As, of course, HLE will get the first look in, but instead, Cal will be taken away, and that is 4 support bans being locked out. What is Delight going to do? And will we find out now? As, of course, could be looking at a top lane pick, but holding onto the flex of the Aatrox could be pretty important here, as it looks like Delight just wants to go for a bit of engage to see what it is going to be.
I think holding it off makes a decent amount of sense, especially since Delight definitely happy just picking an engaged support here.
Poppy.
That technically just keeps things
flexible.
Yeah. Doesn't fully reveal your hand, as obviously it can be played in the jungle still. That being said, it sort of does give a little bit of information, and if you're on the side off bro, you don't want to pick one of those engaged supports that really gets shut down. Like if you're picking a Rel into the Poppy, you're gonna have a bad time. So now I'm gonna have to kind of go into this with that sort of aspect of the equation and be aware that you might be laying into the Poppy, you might not be though. How are you gonna play out this draft? And it's a similar situation for Gideon, not fully knowing the matchup. Will just go for that Xin Zhao though. Obviously able to buy a good amount of time against the DPS of the Yunara.
But doesn't really like Poppy. Steadfast Presence does kind of make your Audacious Charge not feel that fantastic. As Namgung actually considering the Lehen special here in the Elise support. That would be an interesting choice. See whether that is where they're going to go. It would provide a lot of power in the lane. And would kind of, it may even force this Poppy to be either top or in the jungle. And force Delight to go on something else, because otherwise the lane could be very, very difficult. But we'll just have to see. You can sort of block the Q and stuff like that as the Poppy. It's not exactly the worst matchup in the world, but it still doesn't feel great.
It's definitely a matchup, especially with the fact that the AD carry matchup is Corki into Yunara. If it is Yunara Poppy in the bot lane, you are just going to feel a little bit lifeless.
Ooh, Zion would be a bit of an interesting choice. We've got Aatrox and then new Aatrox, and there it is. All right, 2 Aatroxes. What does it mean?
It means it's going to be, well, I mean, only one of them has the revive now.
Now, let's get into it. All right. Oh, Teddy, huge shout out for having the Toboggan Corki. An oldie but a goodie, Although not quite as exclusive as it used to be, right? A lot of us, bought it when it first came out, the Winter Olympics skin. But it's since been sort of re-released, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel quite as cool.
I think as well, can't you get it from Hextech Crafting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel as exclusive as it used to.
Gotta share the love.
Still a very cool skin, though. I do like it a lot.
There's a lot of good Corki skins, honestly.
Very true. Making that decision's tough. Whoa! Flash Cocoon! As Namgung is going in. Looking to get in on top of Gumayusi, lights him on fire, and then gets himself the heck out of there. Barrier doing a whole bunch of work here as Delight also throws down the heal. So 2 summoner spells in trade for 2. Namgung did have to use his flash.
One of the things is because you go so aggressive and catch them off guard, Delight healed, and obviously you get reduced healing because of the Ignite. There's just one issue with that trade. Namgung was level 1, so he only had E-skilled, and he had no damage.
Yes.
So he didn't actually do anything to Guma. It was literally just Teddy using a Phosphorus Bomb and then autoing. So you might have noticed in the aftermath of that play, they didn't really...
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. However,
there was no kill
message was received.
Yes, it definitely signaled something. Aggression.
Yeah. And I do like that. That's a good message to send, Zeus and casting on some of the more recently released champions here. Feeling pretty good about that one, as it looks like Zeus with control of the wave for the moment, but I think the Ambassador is not going to have the worst time here in this lane. See whether casting is going to tech in a cheeky Executioner's Calling or something like that. But I guess just have to see where he is going to go there. The ulti can be pretty frustrating, getting a whole bunch of health back as Zeka misses the Q, I'm pretty sure, as the flash from Roma is the weirdest thing ever, and Zeka is just going to kill him. All right, break it down for me, Ox.
He saw something I did not. That is all I can ascertain from that. He saw something I didn't.
Yeah. I didn't see it either.
Yeah. I don't know what he saw, but
oh dear.
We'll wait for the replay before we dive deeper into this one.
Yeah, we will probably get it. Just have to see whether we get some slow motion to really get full information. Here we go. Now break it down.
So I think the game plan was okay.
I think it was flash and then Q back.
No, I think the theory was that he wanted to get the big boulder off, and he thought if he flashed into melee range, then Zeka wouldn't be able to flash it himself. He was thinking, Zeka is going to flash my big boulder, I'm going to flash in a melee range and big boulder him. And then he like flashed and threw it past him.
I guess so. I think something went wrong. Let's just go with that.
I think he thought too hard, you know? Yeah. It's like he's thinking like 7 steps ahead, and Zek is like, I'm just gonna beat you up, man.
Yeah, I've never had that problem personally.
Yeah.
As Casting and Zeus doing some fighting here. Zeus says, get over here. Bit of Scorpion tactics. I like to see it.
Sometimes you can just overthink things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Look, I can empathize, but I can't relate. Just don't really think that much.
Yeah.
It's not really worth it.
You would have never made that play. You would have made it. You'd have just thrown your rocks at him regularly.
Yep. Fun fact, by the way, as Teddy is using the Winter Olympics skin, the Winter Olympics are coming up, and Sunke will be casting the Winter Olympics.
Oh, that's
he's casting the curling. Isn't that cool?
That's super cool.
Yeah. It's to watch people do brooming. I don't know very much about curling. That's something who's a sport whose rules I don't know very much about.
We're talking about a sport curling, not like when you do your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case anyone's confused.
What? Why did we need... Okay. Goodbye, Dagon. Dagon is not going to be casting the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Because he was asleep when they sent him the invitation. Slurkle comes out. Now I'm continuing to try and be frustrating here towards the bottom side of the map, as at least the bros are doing what it says on the tin, right? They are winning the lane. They have a slight advantage, about 300 gold at this point in time, as Gumayusi has been struggling to hit the minions.
Yeah, I mean, this is the expectation. I feel like there's some lanes where you're playing Poppy, and you're like, everything you do, I will shut down. And then there's some lanes where you're playing Poppy, and you're like, I'm just here. Yeah. I'm just here for moral support. And you're just saying, like, good job, AD carry. You keep hitting those minions. And then your AD carry gets hit by a lot of damage. And you're like, I'm sorry, AD carry. I wish I could do something. I
promise I'm going to be useful
AD
later.
Carry, watch this. I'll throw my buckler at a minion. There you go. There's some farm.
I got a stack off my World Atlas.
Yeah. Oh, look. He threw a buckler.
There you go. And picked it up. Look at that. Look at a cute little shield.
That's all he can really do.
Yeah.
So, not the best scenario to be playing Poppy. Oh.
Roma is going to put between the worlds here, and he just takes the full combo and is just really dead. No flash, no chance. Okay, Cocoon going to connect on to Gumayusi. Does have the barrier back up again, as Namgung gets himself out of there with the repel.
I mean, it's just the power of, against an immobile mid laner when they have no flash, the slow from the ultimate off the Aurora. It can just do that. It really looked like it didn't look like a fancy gank like we're so used to, like Nocturne Orianna, or like Jarvans and stuff. That kind of was just like walk up and kill him, but it works, you know.
It does. It's sort of like it's the old strategy.
Yeah,
kind of works.
Well, it's better than my most hated type of ganks of all time, which you've seen a reintroduction.
Yes, the Shock Blast gank.
Yes, yes. I mean, Nidalee does this as well. I hate this with Nidalee. Not even the spear ganks. The walking, auto them 3 times with red buff, and then walk out and call it a gank. It's like I was never going to die. You're just being annoying.
Yeah, and you also, like, you didn't do anything that's sort of fancy or anything like that. Like, there's no real, like, you just auto-attacked them.
You just ruined my lane. I was winning lane, and now I'm low on health. And the Shock Blast one is the worst. He just walks in, Shock Blasts you, collects his first strike gold.
That's the worst part, is you know you're giving him gold as well.
Oh, it's it's so big. The shock blast is so big.
Oh, Cocoon going to connect it on to Zeus. There's the burst damage. As Namgung says, job well done.
That was
to
a great
himself.
angle. Yeah, that was a great angle. Just found a way to slip in.
A jungler, don't you think?
Yeah, that's it. You know, she could also once upon a time have been a top laner too.
Hey, oh my god, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a throwback.
Oh my.
She can do anything.
It's so weird thinking that she was a top laner. That is, she just has no wave clear at all. But it did happen.
What the game once was.
Uh-huh. Man, that was a very long time ago. Ox, thank you for taking me back like a decade.
Oh.
All right, Gideon is looking to kill Gumayusi, and he might be able to do so here as he's just walking towards him. 3 Talon Strike goes down, held on to the Audacious Charge, and there is a very dead Yunara.
That feels pretty bad, you know, having the ult for the dash and flash and still ends up getting caught out there. Just a great wraparound from Gideon.
Yeah.
And now looking to threaten this red as well.
Namgung is a jungler.
He is.
Look at that. Beautifully done. Kanavi is on the grubs. He's going to be able to complete that, but Gideon steals away his red buff. And so the Bros, with about 1,000 gold lead, I mean, looking pretty good.
This is really how you want the early game to be going for the Bros, and how you want to be using this extra pressure you have from the Elise. You know, you have casting already has this Eclipse power spike, which is a huge spike for the Ambessa. The only problem is the mid lane situation, because you think about the fact that the Bros nearly have 1,000 gold lead. Then look at mid lane where Roma's 900 gold down.
I mean, that means the rest of the Bros have a bigger gold lead.
You're a glass half full kind of guy.
Absolutely.
But it does, you know, it brings some concerns about mid bleeding out a little bit, and it does mean HLE have a point of strength because, you know, if HLE just hang on, they're okay. Bro need to sort of accelerate the game and keep the pace going. So Roma does have his flash back up again, which is a bit of a positive.
Yep.
And could hopefully just look to stabilize from here. Kanavi is trying to steal away this blue. Oh, Namgung! Oh!
Almost manages to get
enough
over
for jungler.
Well, still going to be able to flash for it here. Lands the Cocoon onto Kanavi. He's basically by himself as Roma comes over. Gets put between the worlds, though, as Zeka does a decent job, but will get the flash out from the Talia. And so now Roma is susceptible once again. Pullback from Zeus. His casting just looks immune to damage at this point in time.
Eclipse really is an item.
It is a heck of an item.
I do love the solidarity again from the Bros. Roma and Namgung just both using their flashes in that passage of play. You know, that was a passage of play where they were like, we're going aggressive. We're
flashing. Doing it together.
Yeah. Maybe not. Oh my god.
Yeah, casting is just looking to dive him. Grim Deliverance, but okay. No public execution this time around as casting not going to be able to quite find him with it.
I just respect going for it, and he was trying to line up the ult for where he was going to land with the ult from the Zahen, but, you know, it was pretty cool. Didn't quite land it. I respect him going for it, though. Yep,
respect the hustle. And both of them use their ultis, so no harm, no foul. There's a plate going down as Namgung looking for the point-blank Cocoon as Gumayusi going to get lit on fire. Teddy will be able to find the kill as now Delight in a lot of trouble. He'll get taken down. It's a double as now Zeker's looking to clean this one up. Teddy standing his ground, but he's very, very dead. And that is the shutdown over to the already very fed Aurora.
Yeah, I think a little bit rushed from Bro. And also Namgung didn't connect the Cocoon. You know, dropped tower aggro very early. I think there were some things that could have gone a little bit better, and that dive could have been cleaner, but you could see it was very rushed, and it just means that Zeka flies in, able to pick up a ton of gold, and now, look, Bros, 1,300 gold ahead, but again, that mid lane discrepancy is massive.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to be a thorn in their side.
This is going to be problematic. They're going to have to deal with Zeka some way. Let's see whether, you know, Gideon can get some focus over there. Maybe Namgung can start trying to take down this Aurora. So Spiderlings launched themselves all the way across the rift. That was very, very fun. And now Gumayusi. Oh, dear. Well, he has a ward.
Doesn't have ult, though.
Let's see whether he can survive this as the repel gets Namgung over there. And will he land the Cocoon? Yes, he will. And he takes himself the kill at the same time. The woes of Gumayusi are going to continue. I mean, and it's not even really his fault, but it's been 2 games in a row where he's just been targeted. Roma as well is suffering the same fate as he gets hit by everything and the kitchen sink and will be taken out. The Bros now are going to be coming on in, looking for a bit of an angle as casting thrown into the wall with a heroic charge. And he might just be dead. Gets a big old shield. And Namgung, what goes up must come down, and the Q is going to miss, so thankfully he survives. But HLE able to protect themselves. Gideon goes in. Kanavi is always trying to take more, isn't he?
Yeah, that was a bit of an overstep, you know, I think.
You think, do you?
I think Kanavi could have gone further. I think he would have. I think he would have done it.
He could have been, hitting the inner turret, even though it's untargetable at the moment. He could have been doing that.
He would have done it. I believe him. I believe. But yeah, my question to you really is, who do you think is having less fun this game, Roma or Gumayusi? Who do you think right now?
Probably Roma is having less fun. That's what I would say. As Teddy, okay, never mind. Maybe it's Gumayusi. Maybe it's actually Roma. Well, I mean, Teddy might be killing Delight as well. Never mind. Zex is going to come down, and Teddy is super duper dead.
Okay, well, Guma now has 4 deaths, and Roma has 3, and Roma is getting a plate. So I think now
Gumayusi has 3 times Roma's assists.
That's true, but I'm still. We're trying to balance out who's having the least fun.
Yeah.
I think currently Guma.
How much fun do you get from assists, though?
No one gets fun. No one has
You don't get fun from assists?
Unless you're a support main, or an Ivan player, right?
No, I have a lot of fun with assists. You know, I'm like, wow, someone that I'm with has had a lot of fun beside me.
What champion do you play?
Garen. I don't get a lot of assists.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Zeus is going to be able to take down this top outer turret. As now, Namgung, can he actually find the Cocoon here? That's the question. Public Execution flies out, though, so of course the Cocoon is going to land. And now Delight, did have the Keeper's Verdict, but unfortunately, he did not hit the Ambessa with it. As Teddy, one more. They are respecting Zeus a lot here. Is casting now with another round of spells, and it's a very dead Zion. I think, Zeus was in the air trying to deliver the Grim Deliverance, and the delivery got lost in the mail. Sort of.
I hate when that happens.
Still at Amazon, I think, at this stage.
Well, we're in Keria, so I guess it'd be Kupang.
Yeah, Kupang. Yeah. It's still over there.
So Zeka, he is still strong, but it's feeling less and less relevant as Bro are just kind of moving around, just picking people off. We'll see this replay casting on this Ambessa, getting so much value. Lines up the ultimate. The follow-up is that easy Cocoon after that. Delight gets the knock away. That leaves him vulnerable, and he just manages to survive here on super low HP. Then Zeus kind of steps in and be like, hey, back off. And then it's like, oh,
yeah, and they're like, all right, well.
Okay, you're next, buddy.
We will not kill Poppy. Deal? And he said, no deal. But they didn't really have much of a choice. Okay, 4 stacks left. Make that 3 on Gumayusi's Cull. So we'll be able to get a bit of money there, but it's still 3,000 gold lead for Teddy. My goodness.
Yeah, that's the thing is there's a bigger goal discrepancy in favor of Teddy over Guma, and Guma has less gold than Roma, despite there being a support. Wait, the 80 carry quest, sorry, but the 80 carry quest hasn't finished. And in fact, the only 2 people who haven't finished their quests are Roma and Guma.
Oh, no. Okay, so whoever gets it first, the quest completion is going to be having the most fun out of the 2.
That's how we
can confirm it.
Yeah.
We'll just have to... Oh, wow. This is the first time we've been really, focused on the quests so far this season. As Zeka's moving in, we're going to try and help take down casting here as Grim Deliverance does come down. They're put between the worlds, and the public execution was actually for himself.
Guma got his quest done.
All right, there it is. Having more fun.
Yep, he's having more fun. He gets that extra gold as well. Roma finishes
Roma just barely. I think we can say that they're both not having a whole lot of fun. But Guma with a little bit more is what we're going to say here. As Teddy, slowed down by the Slurk, but does have the Valkyrie.
The level of difference is very small.
It is. That means they might both be having quite a lot of fun. But they are both having a very similar amount. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we can definitely establish that.
Glass half full. All right, Gideon, I think he knows that things are looking a little bit dangerous in there, but the heroic charge doesn't actually work out here, and he just takes both of the camps.
Thanks to the leash.
And HLE just going to back away. All right. Wow, that was pretty giga-chad there by Gideon.
Still has that grub, that Herald, ready and available.
I like that you say grub because it's Gideon.
Yeah, it's just in my mind.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Whenever you say Gideon, I just think Gideon's grubs.
Yeah, Gideon grubs every time.
Yeah.
King Kanza just said @casters in chat. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're just trying to work out who we are? I'm Atlas, this is Ox, and this is a replay.
Very educational.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good to Oh,
back in live. Kanavi is doing some things. Cocoon, I don't know whether it landed, but it didn't really matter as now Zeus, he dives into the fray. Aatrox 1 down, Aatrox 2 still going. All right, Delight was channeling the ulti. and just decides not to use it.
You said about the game twos for HLE. They are really not beating the allegations.
It's not, yeah, it's game twos are looking a little more difficult than the game ones so far.
Yeah.
However, it is early days. 2,400 gold lead, though, here for the Bros. And wow, are they...
And also...
Are the Bros going to give us 3 games?
I mean, think about the fact that... Think how much weight...
You keep telling me to think about things, man, and it's just not my strong suit.
Yeah, I mean, Roma did a bit too much thinking earlier, and look what happened for him.
Yeah, see? Thinking's so dangerous.
But Zeka really is trying so hard to keep this game moderately close. And if you remove his gold advantage, Bros would be 5,000 gold up. What I'm trying to say is the rest of the team are very far ahead.
Yes. That is certainly what we can see here. Yeah. Zeka is really like making sure that he has the same gold lead as the entirety of Bro, like for this entire game. And he's been keeping up. It's pretty impressive. That does mean that Teddy's advantage is absolutely absurd, and we can see that that is continuing to be the case. Roma will still find some value, though, with that seismic shove as Kanavi has the World Ender, but does just dash his way out of there. Zeka actually now with the flash on cooldown, he could be susceptible because he has nothing defensive in the build, unless you could say Dash Cannon is a bit defensive because you can move away from the bad guys, I guess. But I mean, there's no Zhonya's, nothing like that. He is killable.
I still feel like as a Aurora, you have a lot of tools, you know, outplay potential, but definitely the flash helps.
If you do get cocooned, though,
I think
you might just die.
You should die if you get cocooned.
True.
He is the focus target for Bro. That's very true. Dragon up and available would be the 3rd for Bro.
Yeah, Delight gets engaged on here, doesn't get the Steadfast Presence off in time, and actually takes a fair bit of damage here. Gideon breaks the chains of the bind, and the Bros are going to slink back into the fog of war.
I've noticed they did update. I was complaining about it a while ago, the Bandle Pipe's not showing the AoE buff in the Spectator. They do now show that.
Oh, cool.
Which is nice. So you can see everyone having fun.
Yeah.
Apart from a couple of people.
Oh, Zeus gets into the back of the pit here. Kanavi trying to get over there, and they do evict the jungler, and he takes the dragon anyway, so it's not too much of a problem. Now they're all just trying to get out. Grim Deliverance, and unfortunately, Poppy does not have the... Okay, in goes Roma. That's a crazy maneuver. Gumayusi eats a bunch of rocks from the floor, but he will be able to escape. I thought that was suicide there from Roma. I'm really glad that he's still playing with gusto despite not having very much fun, as we established earlier on.
He seems to be having slightly more fun at this one. He even has a kill, you know?
My goodness, so much fun.
HLE, though, as a whole, seems to be having less and less fun in this game. They're like flashing over for the ult knockaway, but the dragon's already dead, and then he kind of realizes...
Do you know what would have been the best if Gideon had have just walked to the wolves and just started the clear again?
That I respect.
It would have been so good.
That'd be so...
Because he was... Like, the camp had just spawned as well. Like, it was so perfect.
That would be such an efficient move.
It would have been.
Yeah.
All right. HLE still struggling here as the Bros continue to build an advantage. Soul point available. Are they going to do it? No, tell me that... I just can't believe it. Oh, man.
It's feeling pretty believable at this point.
This is not the match
Teddy
that I was thinking.
Items as well.
Collector is done. And he's still got brown bags. Both of our AD carriers, actually, with brown bags. Rift Herald? Shelly just wanted to go back home. And Gideon says, you know what, old girl? You can. And there she goes.
Where's it going for that distance?
All right, well, we're going to drive her. And she's looking for an inner turret. She is going to be able to find it here. Steadfast Presence means that it's very, very tough time, but Kanavi taken down so low, it's Namgoon that grabs another kill. Public Execution doesn't quite find the mark, though, and now Zeus gets the knock-up onto Teddy. Back in goes Gideon, Grim Deliverance onto 3, and it's Zeus that's starting to pop off in this fight. Finally, Casting makes his way back, but unfortunately, the rest of his teammates are already gone, and HLE will find themselves the comeback victory in the team fight, and they're looking for even more.
I just feel like such a massive throw from Bro in that situation. Gideon driving it into the tower seems to forget that Poppy exists. Because, to be honest,
we all know running it down. What about driving it down, Ox?
I mean, that was it. Delight, not having done that much this game, maybe flying a bit under the radar, catches him off guard, and then seeing the value of the Zehen here, just really a dominant force in this fight. The ult value pretty big here from Zeka. Kanavi just gets exploded, but then it's Zeus here, flies in. They can't shred through him quick enough.
I think if Casting had have actually been able to hit the ultimate, then maybe it could have worked out. But the Grim Deliverance value is just gigantic here.
And the fact he gets his passive stacked, so they can't just focus him down, huge.
You're going to see him here from the side. Perfect flank angle. And the knock-up to get the flash out of Teddy is so important. Oh my goodness. Yep. Turn to Ambessa, take it down. That's precisely what happens. That's a big old nicer, and that is actually going to get HLE back within touching distance here as Gideon almost just one-shot, 6-0-3. Zeka almost has a death cap.
Yeah, we are reminded he is doing a lot of damage and is very fed.
Yes.
And that lead Bro had has been a little bit thrown and still have an advantage in terms of gold. Driven, sorry.
Yes.
But, you know, one Dragon from Seoul.
Cocoon is going to connect. Delight, though, is going to have the steadfast presence, denies the Q, but now you've got Casting making his way in. Delight is very, very dead, but can they get more? That is the question, as there's a public execution. Casting, once again, getting a big old shield, but he's going to get wiped out. Zeus just walks away from that seismic shove. So a 1-for-1, but Poppy in trade for Ambessa. Man, HLE feeling good about this one as well.
Yeah, not really a good deal there. And I feel like they had the Poppy so secured in those kills. They could have consolidated the vision around Dragon, right? You take out the support, it's easy to clear out the vision. And then they just go too far, just a step too far. Diving in to that melee, just a massive overstep. I think it's just the fact that they're TPing in, they're like, oh, we have to get more from this. We committed a TP.
I mean, taking Delight and then setting up for the Dragon that's up in a minute's time would have been pretty good.
Yeah. You kind of just fly into the blender here.
Yeah. It's not really what you want to do.
And now you can see HLE posturing around the Baron. They know Casting only just spawned, doesn't have TP, so it's easy for them to have the pressure.
And Gumayusi has 3 items. The Infinity Edge is now done, and so he is doing decent damage at this point in time. The fun level is increasing here for the HLE to carry.
He has a kill as well, so, you know.
Oh my goodness.
That's the barrier for fun. He's having more fun.
He is winning that battle.
No Rabadons for Zeka yet. I feel like the hat, it is the fun hat.
I think he does have, almost have the money for it. He must, as he's been out on the map for quite some time. There is the Drake taken here. It is only the first for HLE, so not a huge deal here for the Bros. And they do use it to get control here of this mid lane. Crystalline Overgrowth going to get popped. And this one should go down very quickly. Yep, Teddy makes short work of that inner turret. They can now slink back towards the Baron direction, as the Merkwolf is going to distract Gideon momentarily.
I think as well,
takes the red.
The longer this game goes on, I feel like the better and better HLE going to feel about the odds in this game. You know, you had a moment there where Zeka was without Rabadons. Next time you fight, he's probably going to have that Rabadons completed. So I think that mistake, that overstep from Casting has kind of costed them a window to secure the Soul. Next Soul fight might not be as easy to navigate.
Yeah. And the Bros still have a gold advantage, right? They still have a Drake advantage. They still have all of these things, you know, positively in their direction. But like you say, as these fights, these brawly fights continue, the Yunara is going to have such a good time. And there are so many threats. Like, this is a quadra-threat composition from HLE. Kanavi and Zeus going to be doing so much in the melee. And Zeka and Gumayusi from alongside are just going to be so hard to pin down and will be doing so much damage. Zeka already, as we've seen, really cutting through his targets. So I think a lot of it's going to be on Teddy, making sure that he gets as much value as possible. That Infinity Edge could not come any sooner for item number 4. He's pretty close to it. Only about 1,400 to go. As Casting finally puts his shoes together, we'll be able to grab some Merc Treads. And the Ambessa as well, I think, is going to be pretty important. So the Bros still holding on to the same level of gold advantage. But I think a lot of it is going to be now focused towards this Baron that is up and available, at least for the next 3 minutes' time before we get to the next Dragon.
So I just picked up a Mikhail's, so the Cocoon value dropped. And that's the fun hat completed by Zeka.
Oh dear, the sorting hat.
Yeah, fun for him.
He's going to send them all to Slytherin. Or Hufflepuff. Which one's worse?
Well, they are the green teams. I feel like they would want to be in Slytherin.
That's true. That maybe they're already in Slytherin. And Slytherin got cooler as the books went on. You know, it felt like it was the bad guys at the beginning. It wasn't the bad guys towards the end.
But weren't all the bad guys in Slytherin?
They were all in Slytherin, but there were some good guys in Slytherin as well. I seem to remember. I don't know. Ask chat. Anyway, the Bros now looking to see whether they can defend this Baron. They do get vision of it, as HLE haven't committed to too much just yet. I feel like he's so close to just getting one shot.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. You know, he's been playing. I feel like you play a series, 2 games so far. You played Pantheon support and Elise support.
Yeah.
You were playing with fire.
Yeah, he took Ignite in both games as well.
Yeah, so
it's
very,
beautiful.
Very little. IE picked up by Teddy, so big spike. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
GA
no,
is also done.
No, don't do it!
Oh, God, Slurkle! As he has to flash, and I respect it. I think getting hit by even any abilities that Zeka has will spell the end of the Elise.
I thought he was just dead. I thought he was going to get exploded.
Well, Gideon not quite able to win the Smite fight against Kanavi, so that is immovable vision for the moment here for HLE.
Okay, they clear out some vision. It's a minute 45 until that next dragon. But it feels like main focus has been controlling this vision around the top side of the map.
I thought the main focus was on who was having the most fun.
That was our main focus.
Ah, okay.
I think fun levels have kind of...
They're normalizing.
Yeah, I think though Yunara, 3 items at this point in the game, I think Guma has overtaken Roma in terms of fun levels.
Yeah, and I think he will continue to have more fun as this game goes on. However, if Roma gets that incredible seismic shove right on Gumayusi,
yeah,
then the fun will swing back very effectively.
We all
still
know.
a lot to play for.
You're playing a hyper carry like Yunara, you should be having a lot of fun in the late game, but we all know that can change, right?
Certainly can.
Especially when top laners exist and they have buttons that can just hold you still and one-shot you, and they can level up to 20. We've all been there.
Yeah. Yeah. Casting certainly going to be able to do that as this game goes on. Only 2 items completed for him, as Zeus, looking for item number 3, does have a few more components put together.
I feel like it's always been the thing where the 80 carries are just like ahead of the curve compared to everyone else in pro play. But it's just like, especially because they're abusing cashback and the roll quest gold.
Yeah.
It just feels so silly now. Just like
they have so much extra money.
Yeah.
And yeah, Teddy's item spike is also feeling pretty phenomenal right now with that Infinity Edge completion. Still wants his Merc Treads, I think is what he's building, unless it's a Hex Drinker cheekily coming in. And I think I wouldn't blame him for a Hex Drinker purchase against Zeka and the amount of burst damage that he does have available. This game really has stagnated as we have 10 seconds until this Ocean Dragon. No one really wanted to go for any sort of Baron contest or anything like that.
Yeah, not the strongest souls, so not the end of the world. The HLE don't get this, but you can see them posturing towards the Baron.
I mean, this Dragon is going to go incredibly quickly. Kanavi does have a ward in the back of the pit as there's the teleport in. They're going to go for the contest as Kanavi gets on over. Let's see whether he can actually steal away this Dragon. It will be secured by the Bros as there's the Crescent Guard, and the Bros just want to get themselves the heck out of there. And I think they're just going to be able to do so. All right, Dragon secured. Now we go.
Yeah, ping's coming out towards the Baron, but it feels a little bit risky. A lot of ultimates were burnt there from, I mean, to be fair, both sides, but you look at things like the Talia, like the Corki, a lot less ult reliant compared to like the Yunara.
Yeah, they really wanted to steal away this red buff as well, and Zeka, you can see, is in position. And oh my goodness, Gideon almost died.
He'll sustain up pretty quickly with the jungle camps, especially with an Ocean Soul, so it's not too much of a concern.
Oh, he didn't die, by the way. He's got a GA, so wouldn't have died, but would have GA'd.
Yeah, he'll hit this red buff and heal up. No, Namgun!
Oh, no! Whoa! All right, well, he's up.
You, my friend, cannot afford to get touched by anything.
Every time Zeka's on screen, I'm like pre-frightened.
Yeah. No, this is why tank supports are so popular in pro play.
All right, Delight. On one of said tank supports.
Yeah, so Celestial Opposition Tank Poppy feels a lot better than...
Especially feels better when Roma is like 5,000 gold behind and is not necessarily packing the burst damage.
The Blood Song feels really cool when you do that bite and you do the extra damage.
Yeah.
Not so good when you get tickled by Zeka and just one shot.
Yeah.
He just looks vaguely in your direction. He aims for Teddy and just accidentally kills you instead.
Yep.
Not a good feeling.
That may actually happen in the next team fight. We'll just have to keep our eye on it. At least if the Bros survive, right, their health bar goes up quicker. Because they have Ocean Soul.
That's true. I actually think you should go, you know, Banshees, it builds out like, you know how Seekers,
the thingy. I know what you're talking about.
Baby Banshees.
Yeah, the little beads.
I actually think you should build that, because it's the only thing that will stop them getting...
Why don't I have the name of that in my brain? It's okay. Weaver's War comes on forward here as Roma is looking for Zeus. Public execution, though, is Delight. Just going to get blown up. Can the rest of HLE actually find the fight, though? As Teddy flashes away. Gumayusi, I don't know about that one. That was insanity. Phosphorus Bomb would have landed, but he was dead already. As Roma is having way more fun at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think he didn't see the Unraveled Earth within the terrain, dashes over into the stun and immediately regrets it, and that is fun over. for Guma on that play. Bro going to be able to secure this Baron off the back of that.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's have a look at it one more time.
So Delight, you know, I said he was feeling better, feeling tanky, but he will still just get exploded at this point of the game. And the Unravel did, so... Yeah, there was a little bit just the edge of it next to the terrain, and he dashed through the rocks going over.
I also think that even if the rocks weren't there, probably wouldn't have been a great move.
Yeah, yeah, not ideal, but definitely not as bad.
It was worse. It was definitely worse. And hindsight's 20/20 and all that sort of stuff. But certainly looked like a little bit of a misplay. Does mean now that the Bros have the Baron.
Look,
and it's 2,000 gold, the advantage for them with the Rebel Baron power play.
I kind of blame ourselves a bit because we said, you know, he's now having fun. It's the late game, you know.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then he's like, you know what? I am having and then that happened, so.
It's all right. You're going to have a lot of fun on Twitter after this. Because of that. Oh, wow. That was a big one. That was...
Teddy's having fun.
He is having fun. He was always having fun, though. That was never in doubt.
Yep.
That's all right. Casting going to get pulled back here by Zeus, who is very scary on this Zahen.
Yep. This is called Release Day Diff.
Yep. And it's a bit minor, but it seems to be enough as public execution. Casting is trying to get something done, but of course there is still an ulti there as Between Worlds goes Zeka.
And this feels really good for Bro, because you get a big ultimate from HLE, and the damage is irrelevant because you have Ocean Soul. You can just sustain back up slowly.
Yep. Weave as well. And...
Oh, Zeka!
Oh, Room is going to be able to find him! Zeka explodes!
He's having
so much fun! Oh my goodness! Inhibitor turret goes down. Inhibitor to follow. The Bros are going to keep HLE winless in game 2s.
Oh, what a pick from Roma!
That's the 93% solo queue win rate, baby. You need to keep your head in the game, no matter how things go in the early stages. As Delight, he finds Teddy there. The exhaust goes down, but Zeus not going to find the Grim Deliverance this time. Teddy goes down, but the trade ain't worth it. Namgung's also able to survive. And it's a double kill from the grave, actually, for Teddy as the ace comes in. And the Bros are going to do it. They'll finish off the Nexus turrets. And HLE will have to try again in game 3.